Welcome back to Out of the Rough. My name's Fred Arnold, and in this segment, I got Michael Crane. Michael Crane is the president and co-founder of Smart Business Evolution and the author of Beyond the Billboard, Turning Promises into Reality, the truth about great customer service. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're going to talk today about smart sales strategies, and of course, we got Jerry on with us because he's a very good presenter, if you will, on different items in his industry. But as business owners, as salespeople, I mean, as a husband and wife, we're salespeople in one fashion or another. What's the biggest challenge we run into when we meet a prospect or we meet a customer? What are the two things, the two issues that you have that most salespeople do?
Well, when it comes to a buyer, when you're going to make a pitch or you're making your sales presentation, two things that we commonly see that undermine your ability to produce greater results is one, we typically start asking questions that bore and annoy the buyer, and number two, we launch too quickly into spewing our solutions, hoping that enough stick so that they'll write the check. And really what we want to do is concentrate more on the problem of the customer.
Yeah, I smile because I think of just going home and asking my wife, honey, what do you want? Then I know what to present to. It's the same thing with the business customer, isn't it? If I can find out what that individual wants, what that buyer wants, what that customer wants, boy, I can address the issues. Right. Because sometimes we address issues that aren't even issues.
That's so true.
Yes. Let's talk about the four key thoughts. Right. And I'm going to name them here: dashboard questions, dilemma questions, consequence questions, and confirmation questions.
Right.
What is a dashboard question when you meet a prospect?
Well, dashboard questions are those questions that a lot of times we'll go in as a sales representative and we start asking the buyer, and they're questions that are common about the buyer and the organization they represent. You know, how long have you been in business? What's your annual revenue? How many employees do you have? Who's on your executive team? How you know, so on and so forth. But these questions bore the buyer, and they can make them annoyed after a while. And if you think about it, if I am just one of many companies who's come to present to the buyer, how many times have they had to answer these mundane questions? They already have those answers. They don't need that. So if you just do a little bit of homework, in fact, we call it the Smart Profile Sheet, where you come to the table, and it's just a one-page document, and it says Smart Profile, and it's public. You also make sure that you highlight the word public so they know that you're not stalking them, right? So you go to the LinkedIn or their Facebook page or whatever is public, and you capture their picture from maybe their website, maybe the executive team, you have their logo, you have the mission statement there. And see, even though it's upside down, right, what are they doing as soon as they see their picture?
They're looking at it. They're going, oh, you must have done your homework. You care enough to do a little bit of homework ahead of time.
And I've got your mission statement. Maybe I already know who some of your clients are. Already you've elevated yourself above the competition because you've done a little homework.
Simple stuff to get on the internet. Easy to do, and all you have to do is go on to a search engine and get it, or the website. It's usually readily available. So the dashboard questions, get those out, have maybe one or two, or maybe ask, can I go deeper on one or two questions, and that's it.
Yeah, you just want to get some clarity, but you're really just letting them know you've already done your homework. You know a lot of the basic information.
Right. Let's talk about the dilemma.
Right.
What problem do they have?
True. Again, we want to launch in to giving all of our solutions. That's what we want to get to. As salespeople, we're very excited about telling them all the solutions that we can provide. But first and foremost, let's make sure that we understand the problem. And also, we want to make sure that the customer truly understands the problem that they currently have. But the dilemma questions are the primary questions that deal just with the basic elements of the problem. The same thing that you do, right?
Yeah, every day. I mean, if I just launched into how great of an investment advisor I was and how great of returns I can give somebody, but didn't realize they were coming to talk about their disability insurance needs, it'd be a big waste of time. So we have to find out what's troubling them.
Yeah, it shows that you care.
Yeah.
And one of the most important questions we ask in mortgage lending is, what are your goals? Pay off early? Is your goal to maximize your interest deduction? There's so many different things you have to look at, and I think that's critical. What is the dilemma? And I like what you said. I like the fact that sometimes they don't know what their exact challenge is.
Right.
They just know they have a problem here, but they're not sure what the exact dilemma is, and you end up refining it a little bit better.
Right. Well, that's the next one, and that's what's the consequence. We've got the dilemma question out there, so we know what your initial dilemma is, but now what we want to do is cascade that problem throughout your organization, meaning we want to know how it impacts your organization all the way through, so that you can really come to the understanding, wow, this I thought it was a problem. It's really a big problem. And Jerry, you do that.
Yeah, and you get them to write it down. I mean, talking sales for a minute, I've always discovered that the best close is a good open. And part of the opening is asking the questions, doing the probing, getting the client or the potential client to understand and accept that you care about them.
Right.
And you're not here just to slam something down their throat. You want to find out what it truly is they need and custom fit it to them. And those questions will do that. Take the time.
I love that because it builds trust.
Yes.
And it builds trust. And one of the best things I tell people is whether you use me or not, I want to be a resource to you, but I can't be a resource to you if I don't know what challenges you're faced.
Right.
And so let's go deeper with what your challenges are, not what I want to sell you.
Yeah, but don't do it just to build trust. Don't do it because some sales coach said you should do it because you care.
Right.
And if you
Oh,
don't-
absolutely.
And if you don't care, go back to my Truth Helps series. If you don't care, get out of the business and do something you do care about.
Right.
That's well said.
And what you're passionate about.
What you're passionate about, right.
So consequences?
Right.
No, you go even deeper with that. What are the consequences if we don't reach your goal or fix your problem
Right.
all the way down the road, right? You go deeper on that.
Well, what we get them to do is truly, again, it's cascading it. We say, okay, for example, maybe it's accounts receivable. What's the percentage of your business that is in 90 days? It means account receivable. They're past due 90 days. What's the percentage? They say, so what does that cash flow mean to you now that it's not there? I mean, how is that creating restrictions on your company? How's that creating restrictions on your research and development that you're trying to do? What's all that do? How does it impact your employees and being able to create greater benefits or perceived benefits to the employees because you simply don't have the money? So you go from accounts receivable issue to realizing, wow, we're being strangled. And here would be another one. If it continues as is and your competition has greater cash flow management, what can your competition do to you? All of a sudden, now it's a big deal.
Yeah, it becomes possibly life and death for your company or
Absolutely.
affect its mission. And then confirmation question.
Well, after we go through the consequence, right, then we go into our features and benefits. We explain to them the benefits and solutions that we can provide. But then we want to go into confirmation questions, and this is real simple. We just want to make sure that the customer can articulate back to us the benefits. And what's great is you also cascade the solution, meaning, okay, so here's the solution that we can provide. How's all the different ways that this solution is going to impact your organization from top to bottom? And all of a sudden they realize your solution is so much grander than I originally thought.
And I bet sometimes when they're repeating back your solution to you, they actually probably elaborate on it and fine tune it for you.
Yeah, and then you can charge them more.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
kidding.
But it's all about making an impact. It's all about providing great customer service beyond the billboard. Michael Crane, the truth about great customer service. Excellent. Thank you for coming in and sharing. Of course, my first guest, Jerry Citarella. The Truth Helps.
Yes.
And if you don't pay attention to the book, the truth is going to hurt.
It can indeed.
So pick up the book. And the book can be located at?
The Truth Helps You, all spelled out, thetruthhelpsyou.com.
Great. And if you want to contact Michael.
Well, that's easy. Michael at smartbusinessevolution.com.
Great. Well, thank you both for coming in. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Out of the Rough. If you'd like to see this show or other shows online, go to scvtv.com or fredarnold.com. If you have a question for me or any of the guests on the show, email me, fred@fredarnold.com. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Out of the Rough, and we hope this information helps get you out of the rough and into success.